Bloody welcome back to Lamplight City, midweek point and click, episode 4. How y'all doing? Steve, you're in the house. You doing well?
Yep, I'm doing well. Just breakfasted it up and yep, ready to go.
Excellent. Very good to hear. Psyche, welcome in. Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. Oh, I've been a sick boy, a sick bolty boy, but I'm on the mend. I might still have a gravelly voice. I'm not too sure, but feeling much better today. And ready to stream. Excited. I remember this game left off in a good spot. We didn't get stuck last time. I think it was a pretty much a smooth run, as opposed to the first case. But the first case is always going to be a pancake run, right? Like you're gonna break some eggs and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
and finger the wrong person.
I think we fingered the right person. Oh no, that's right. We
I'm sure we don't.
yeah.
Um, the um, the walkthrough kept going at a point where we couldn't do some of the things we'd been locked off. Some of the things the walkthrough needed us to do.
That's right, because we told the maid that we were a private investigator, and she closed shop basically and wouldn't talk. So we missed out on a whole bunch of things. But I guess in our headcanon, maybe she was the guilty party. Look, she wasn't fully innocent
because we were pretty like our case made sense, like a lot of sense.
Yeah. She can tell it to the executioner anyway. Robot Space is in the house. How you doing, Robot Space? Hopefully you're having a fantastic. I guess it's what, Friday night, Friday morning, Friday night. Yeah, sweet. We have daylight savings time that clicked over last night. We got the extra hour. It always feels like we lose an hour, but that's probably because you want to enjoy your weekend. But yeah, this time we gained an hour, so the time zone is probably different for all y'all because I think Americans did daylight savings a few months back. I don't know. I'll work out the math later on. But yeah, excited to keep going. Steve, how do you feel about the recap?
A little bit better now.
Mm. Well,
I was
before you,
thinking of trying to wing
yeah,
it like from one point on, wing it more instead of us talking a bit beforehand. But this one I really needed because I couldn't remember a single. Now I sort of roughly remember, but I couldn't remember a single thing.
yeah, same. And it's
Before.
because we had to skip a week, and also, well, at least for me, I can claim fog brain. Maybe you had the same thing, but I'm gonna blame it on the sickness.
I think skipped a week. I think the episode also things went a bit too smoothly, where it made it hard to remember.
Yeah, because we didn't have those trauma blockages, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me quickly load the game just so you get a bit of background music while you do the recap. It's pretty loud in the main title screen, but once about to see Linda. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Bit of ambience for you, Steve. Tell us what happened.
Oh, you might want to share with me.
Oh shit! I forgot to do that. That was the thing I was meant to do. Well, hopefully the audio doesn't break.
I might just say, and then when you said, "Oh, you have some ambience," it's like, well, I don't have ambience. So the main thing outside the case, the personal thing, is that we've had an agreement with our ghost because we've been taking medication to keep him away. No, it's to be able to sleep because he keeps us up, and so take medication to keep up with sleep, but that makes us a little bit duller, and since we're a detective, that's bad. So the ghost, we made a deal with the ghost because he kept nagging that to stop using the medication, he'll let us sleep. The problem is there was a few other conditions. I forget what the other condition was. I think it was stop nagging him or stop doing something. And after the agreement, he immediately reneged.
Yes, he did.
So I assumed our character would renege, but he seems to be agreeing to not take the medication, even though he's like already gone back on his word.
We're the better
it's
man.
pretty weird. Yeah, I guess so. Or we're at least going to try one night to see if he... Because all he has to do is... I guess it's boring to keep quiet for like 8 hours, but that's all he has to fucking do to give us sleep.
Yeah, I guess ghosts don't sleep, right?
Yeah, so I guess you are just sitting there waiting for 8 hours with no stimulus. There's no TVs. Otherwise, you could just leave the TV on. You could pretend to be one of those people that needs TV or radio on, but it's actually to entertain the ghost while he sleeps.
Hang on a second. Is there even TV in this universe? I think it's too old school,
Yeah,
right?
I guess that's right. That's what I said. There's no TV, so I guess you can't do that.
The
There's radio
wireless.
though. Yeah, is there radio?
I assume there would be radio, yeah.
Yeah, they haven't actually. I don't think they've played it. I like the little steam governor in the background.
Oh, just one
Um,
sec, Steve. You guys can still hear, right? The first time we tried to stream to Steve after the fact, his audio cut out. But if you guys can still hear Steve, we're good to go. Audio seems fine. Excellent. All right, go on, Steve.
yeah, I like those because I remember there was an episode. I used to be fascinated with steam governors when there was like an episode of Batman, the TV series, where there's a few of those around a trap. That didn't make sense for a trap, but yeah. Batman was tied down to something and was going to kill him, and had a bunch of those. Yeah. So, yeah, we haven't seen the wireless, but I assume they exist. But yeah, for the case, we're on our second case. Our first case, we probably would have thought it was successful, except I was peeking at the walkthrough, and we ended up getting blocked out of actually getting the right person. So we fingered the wrong person, but our case is pretty solid, regardless, even if it's the wrong person. We're in the second case. It's the I forget the family name. It reminds me of the rich people lost a baby to a kidnapping, and the baby ended up dying. I forget what it was, because it was a famous rich family, ended up being Nazis, basically, practically Nazis. But
We can
yeah,
find
they
out, I think. Arthur Devon. No, that's the... Devons is the... Does it show who that is?
I know it's not the
Oh,
same family in this.
that's actually a good... that's we forgot about this guy as well. But yeah, it doesn't matter what the family's name is. We'll find out soon enough. But don't forget about this guy.
I've still forgotten about him. I guess
Oh.
one you might be able to pick it up, but the one thing I remember is we talked to a clairvoyant who can sense spirits. So we initially thought she was full of crap because she couldn't sense our ghost. But even though she couldn't sense him when we mentioned him, because I expected her just to double down, but when we mentioned him, she seemed very have knowledge and of what we'd be going through seemed accurate. So that put a pin in or made me doubt that she might be completely fraudulent. But yeah, so she said sort of seemed to have knowledge about what the type of ghost is and have a relationship with it, and gave us advice. I forget what the advice exactly was, but she sort of gave us some good advice.
Yeah, and the ghost partner said, if you ever tell anybody else again, I'm going to basically kill you and your family. Not to that extent, but he got really upset that we told her that he exists.
Yeah, because he was trying to get us not to do it, which was weird. Like, our character doesn't necessarily say it to anyone. It was just because she was a spiritualist he decided to. Yeah, so that was kind of weird. Yeah, because it wasn't kill the whole family, but he did. There was a threat he made that was like that's a little bit too much.
Yeah, it was
Understand
pretty
exactly,
pretty
but it was a
dark
bit
for
too
him.
much.
Yep.
And yeah, that's kind of all I remember.
Okay, so I can fill in the gaps. So essentially what happens is when the baby got taken from the rich family, the only person supposed to be in the house was the old lady that was the nanny. But we managed to get out of her that she wasn't alone. She had her friend Linda with her. And Linda had a child that passed away previously. So the assumption is that Linda might actually be the kidnapper, stealing the kid to sort of become that mother figure again. There was threatening notes left with the rich family as well, and chicken bones and dust as well. And that ended up being Arthur Devons, the guy that I brought up earlier, just because he was pissed off that he was fired or his father was fired or something. Maybe I think I think that was the case. Yeah, he got fired or something from the shipyards that the rich family owns. So that ended up being a bit of a red herring. He was just pissed off about losing his job. He didn't kidnap anyone. But Arthur is still the prime suspect. So I'm thinking that it's Linda at this stage, just because she has the motive to steal a baby. And we've never met her yet, and we're actually at her doorstep now. So that's probably the best place to start. I don't think we've missed anything.
The family I was trying to remember, yeah, it's a Lindbergh baby was the name I was trying to remember.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
The real life case that keeps reminding me of it, and when I looked it up just to see what the name is, Google, being Google, put an AI overview.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the weirdest sentences I've seen. Kidnapping of Charles Lindbergh Jr. in 1932, son of famous aviator Charles Lindbergh, is a famous case of a family being kidnapped by a rich family. Although it's not the family who kidnapped the baby, but a man named Bruno. Well, and then names him his full name, but it's like, wait, how many kidnappings are the rich family doing the kidnapping? That's fucking stupid.
That's crazy. Thanks, AI.
Yeah.
This machine is quiet. It's already gone up
Keep doing what you're
considerably
doing.
in my estimation.
You could learn a thing or two from it, Bill.
I'm just going to adjust the sound settings. I think the voice volume could be higher. Sound volume can be high too. Yeah, I think that's about right. All right, here we go.
It says here that Linda Walker is in the upstairs apartment, and someone named Douglas MFEL is under the stairs.
You know what? Let's increase the voice volume even more. Let's max. All right, here we go. Let's try the lower door first. We don't want to go in there just yet. We're gonna have nerves to take care of first.
What? Who are you?
It's George
Are
Carlin.
you from the Steamworks?
Afraid not, sir.
Damn. Oh well, what can I do for you?
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want them answered immediately.
We ask him what the 7 words you can't see on TV are.
Why'd you ask if I was from the Steamworks?
Why did you think I was from the Steamworks?
Because I contacted them a few days ago when my boiler broke, and nobody has come to repair it yet. I should have known better. Those fools always take their time, if they even bother showing up at all. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in here with nothing but cold water. If I catch pneumonia and die, you'll know who to blame.
Speaking of pneumonia and dying, rest in peace, Val Kilmer, right?
A bit insensitive from this game to mention that right now.
Yeah. Thanks, George.
Do you know Linda Walker?
Of course. She lives upstairs. Who's asking?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find Linda so I can speak with her.
What's your business with her?
I'm afraid that's private.
Well, she's out right now.
Oh.
You'll have to come back another time if you want to visit her.
Have you got any idea when Mrs. Walker will be back?
Not for a few days. She
Ah.
told me she was going away for a bit. Ah, that reminds me. She asked me to water her plants while she was gone. Just need to remember where I put the spare key.
Did you say something about having a spare key to Mrs. Walker's apartment?
Sure, I'm her landlord.
Ah.
I look after the place when she's gone. Got a bit of a green thumb, that one, so she puts me in charge of watering her plants. The trip up is a bit of a pain, though. My hips aren't what they used to be.
This is probably too harsh. He might actually clam up, I'd say. Asking that way.
Yeah, also it's weird to say you need to give me the key when he's like private detective isn't like not part of the police force.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Sorry
if
to
you're part
bother
of
you,
police you
sir.
can go, this
I'll
is
just
part
be
of
on
the
my way.
case, but he's a private detective.
I think we got to find the key more than... Maybe it's...
It says here that Linda Walker is in the upstairs apartment, and someone named Douglas MFEL is under the stairs.
Okay, Douglas is there. What if I right click?
Why is everyone dying on me?
Artie, fine. How you doing? Thanks so much. Oh, okay. Right click is always book. Okay, so there's only one left click, so that's good. That eliminates possibilities. Now, he said his boiler was broken. Did he put it on the boiler maybe while investigating? I don't know if this is his boiler. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Miles, what are you doing? You don't know the first thing about steam engine repair.
It can't be that hard to work out.
If you're serious about getting it fixed, I'd suggest looking for someone who knows about this sort of thing first. But if you just want to charge in blindly, be my guest.
Be my guest. Be my guest. Oh, he's got a Whitney 200. Jeez, the new model. Okay.
Mr. Rich, over here.
I reckon. Sounds like a shotgun.
These pipes are connected to the flue. They must heat up the water in this overgrown tea kettle.
Oh, we got little valves. Turn it. Lucy left, righty tighty. Lucy left.
It won't go any further in that direction.
Okay, we'll righty tighty it then. So that's like the starter ignition. Yeah, okay.
These pipes are connected to the flue. They must heat up the water in this overgrown tea kettle.
Okay, so there's only 2 actions there.
It won't go any further in that direction.
Okay. Where's the water go, though? Is the water in here?
I guess that's what I'm. I guess the heat goes through that pipe. Yeah, I'm confused because it's like you said, oh, the heats the water in that overgrown tea kettle, but I can't see what that means. Like, where's the tea kettle?
It's doing a flap there. Did it do that before? Hang on. Excuse me. Okay. Let's turn it left one and then click this again. Okay, so it does do that sound. Yep.
It won't go any further in that direction.
Find fuel source.
We'll spend another minute on here. I'm thinking we could speak to Arthur. He might know about this kind of thing, but I was trying to think of the physics of this. You've got little tiny... What are these?
I mean, maybe once you get flow or steam going, they're used to like, because there's that indicator, they might be just to fine tune the pressure.
Yeah, you could be right, actually. Okay, so let's...
Let's have something that said water tank.
Oh,
These pipes are connected
Yes,
to the flue. They must heat up the water in this overgrown tea kettle.
Right, so that's full of water, but then how's that?
let's tighten this all the way. Righty-tighty. That should build pressure, right? You'd
It
assume.
won't go any further in that direction.
So if it's closed off, the heat goes in, heats up the water, then hit the starter? Nope.
Yeah, it's like there should be, like, it seems to make sense at one level, but then, like, it seems like, oh, this is a nice mechanical puzzle to do if you have a vague understanding of physics and how the boiler works, you'll be able to do it, but then it also doesn't make sense in another way. Like why, like the fire source, why does that go into a pipe that seems to be filled with water but not filled with water? Unless they're not really connected.
There we go.
Oh, you're supposed to close it?
Maybe.
Oh, it makes sense because then the heat's not escaping.
Oh, that's in the red. Okay.
Oh, that was all water. I thought that was steam. Okay, so that was confusing.
Oh. Top one. Okay. We can close this. I think we're good there.
And then the big one. What does that do?
Let's turn it Lucy left one. Okay. Alright. Yes! That you'd think that's bang on, right?
I thought it's got to be as high as it can without going into the red.
Oh, maybe we need to hit it perfectly on green.
Hello?
There.
Hello, Baltimore.
Yeah,
You've been
child.
raided. Any
Void.
of us could be the killer.
Loons! Effing Loons, how you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. What you playing? You playing some more Half-Life 2? We're just trying to solve a boiler puzzle here. So if we go, let's go Lucy left again. Okay, that goes right in the red, and that's probably, yep, that, whoop.
Oh,
It won't go any further in that direction.
Shit's vibrating. We don't want that. And then one more time to the right. And then...
funny.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. We need it to the left one time. Okay, good.
It'd be funny if, like, instead of the... Because we thought the lose condition was, like, the getting locked out of the conversation was mentioning we're a private detective, but it'd be funny if that was okay, but blowing up his boiler would be the thing that locked us out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hang on. We saw that move down. This one moved down a little bit. That looks good. That's in green.
Yeah.
I don't think you should leave this thing unattended before you've made any repairs.
I thought we did do repairs. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Maybe we'll go and actually speak to a professional.
Some people would call that humming and hissing the sound of progress. I'd call it annoying.
Nice. You finished episode 1. Excellent. That was quick. Because I saw you start it yesterday. How's the stream going? Stream is going great. Yeah, we're just trying to solve the case of a missing child. I don't think there's anything else to select. Well, that's a water
Some
heater.
people would call that humming and hissing the sound of progress. I'd call it annoying.
Wish we could compare, like look at another boiler and see how it's set up. But let's go speak to old mate at the docks. He just looks like a boiler repairman. Could be wrong.
Yeah, sorry, mister. Which game was episode 1?
Half-Life 2.
I have up to.
He's busy with his protest. Best to leave him alone for now.
Okay, so he knows nothing about it.
We will not just stay.
Okay. Let's see. Who would be good at fixing boilers? Maybe the dad?
I'll let you know if I have any more questions, Mr. Harris.
Guess not. Maybe Miriam's a boilermaker from long back.
Sit tight, Mrs. Harris. I may have more questions for you later.
There was also the fact that these two were potentially having an affair with different people.
Mm. We made a note of them being detached, but I think that's just rich person things.
Walker residence. Oh, it's Linda Walker. This old guy.
Welcome back. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yeah, sure.
I think we've gotten all we can from him for now.
Last time we were stuck, it ended up being our wife that could help. Maybe our wife's a boilermaker.
Hello, dearest. I have returned.
Welcome home.
Addie?
What do you need, dear?
Oh, look at this. Boiler repair.
She can
Addie, you
repair a
wouldn't
boiler.
happen to have any manuals on repairing steam engines in your library, would you?
Thinking of changing careers?
No, there's just a boiler that needs repairing, and I need to figure out how to do it.
A boiler? What kind of engine is it?
I'm not sure, but it had Whitney 200 embossed on the side.
Oh, of course. That's one of the most common steam engines around, used in practically everything.
Oh, she is an
In
expert.
fact, the player piano at the Firkin and Fryer had one, and that thing was always going out of alignment. If that's all that's happened with this one, I know how to fix it. Used to have to do it all the time.
Adelaide Fordham, you are just full of surprises.
Where is this boiler?
Not terribly far. It's a townhouse on St. Agnes in Livingston.
Let's go then. I could use some fresh air.
Hell yeah. She's going to show us how it's done.
Not quite a player piano, but it shouldn't be too tough. Would you like me to walk you through it, or would you prefer I fix it myself?
Oh, okay. Interesting. We can get her to do it, or we can do it. Loons, this is relatively new. It came out a couple of years ago. Steve, what are we going to do? We're going to do it ourselves, or let her handle it?
Okay, no, we've already tried it ourselves. I think we got closer to knowing, but it was way too finicky.
So let her do it, okay.
I think I'll let you handle it, dearest. Machine repair isn't my specialty.
All right. Let me have a look.
And then it explodes and kills her, and we get a second
Just
ghost.
as I thought. It's out of alignment. This will only take a moment. There, just like the old days.
Thank you for your help, dear.
You're welcome. Boilers are a lot like people, you know. Let too much pressure build up inside them, and an explosion becomes inevitable. You do well to remember that, dearest.
That's a metaphor,
Now,
dear.
I have
Is
to
that-
be getting to
yeah,
my
is that a
appointment
sex
with
talk?
Mrs. Lapone. See you tonight.
Wouldn't say it's a sex talk. I think it's more about a ghost in the head talk. Can we look at the boiler and see what she did?
It's chugging along and
Damn
making
it.
noise again. Wonderful.
Are you sure? Sure she wasn't talking about an orgasm? Pressure
Jesus.
building up and then explosion?
Jesus. Can we get a filth bag Steve in the chat? We got the
No,
emote,
it's like
but
he's already
can we,
beaten you to it.
can we get the
It's
actual
like he's
voice
a-
command though?
Oh.
Yes? What is it?
Fixed your boiler.
I fixed the boiler for you.
What? Are you serious? It's pretty pathetic when some yahoo off the street does a better job than the people paid to do
Steve
this
is
sort
such
of
a
thing.
filth bag.
I owe
Thank
you,
you.
friend.
Sorry to bother you, sir. I'll just be on my way.
See if we can just jimmy the lock.
Nobody home. Now what?
I'm worried about...
More. Someone from your chat is lurking.
Thanks for the lurk, Deej. Alright, let's save it. Just in case we get locked out. Lucy left. And then let's say we're a private detective and just see what happens. I hope it doesn't lock us out.
Yes? What is it?
I'm a private detective, and it's of the utmost importance that I get that key from you.
Is that right? Is Mrs. Walker in trouble? Has she done something wrong?
I'm not entirely sure yet, which is why I need to take a look inside her apartment.
I see. Well, I wouldn't normally do this. but
Yes.
You did me a great service by fixing the boiler. I can't just give you the spare key, but I can let you into the apartment.
That'll be just fine. Thank you.
Hang on. Why does he need a spare key if he
What
can
in
do
the
that?
Ether.
Cripes, did a tornado come through this place or what?
Looks as though she definitely left in a hurry. I wonder if she planned on ever coming back.
I'll be waiting for you in the kitchen, Mr. Fordham. Just let me know when you're done looking around.
He's not pissed off that all the wallpaper's torn off? What did she do to my house?
There's a handwritten note here. Valerian mixed with chamomile. Sedative effects, deep sleep.
Seems Mrs. Walker's an amateur herbalist.
Maybe not so amateur. I'd love to see the look on Mrs. Davis's face if she knew it wasn't a spirit that possessed her. In fact, let's go tell her, so I can see it.
You've gotten fairly misanthropic in your death, Bill.
Have I? I hadn't noticed.
Nice. The old,
There's just
Hmm?
there's just a pipe going straight through her room too.
Yeah, I guess that's the
Steam pipe.
radiator, right?
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to have my fill of plants and flowers.
Yeah, I thought it'd loop a bit, like if it was a radiator. Or that
Oh.
seems like they just built a pipe straight through a room.
There's a
Close
pipe
enough,
here
yeah.
as well, so yeah.
Torn apart. She took most everything. Well, it doesn't appear she had much to take. Torn apart. I thought my apartment was messy.
You don't have an apartment. Oh, our Head's his apartment, actually. Remember that show Herman's Head back in the day?
Yeah. Supposed to remind it because like it's like the adult version of Inside Out.
Mmm.
A fairly recent model. Linda must have spent a good portion of her wages on it. Well, at least that painting cheers the place up a little bit.
Oh, wallpaper bulge. There'll be something in there.
It's a boy. Can't be more than 7 or 8 years old. If that's Linda's son, why would she leave this behind?
Good question.
Nice patterns. I wonder if Linda makes all her own clothes.
That's right. It's because she works for the Jewish man as the tailor.
Mhm.
All right, here goes.
That bit of torn wallpaper looks almost deliberate.
Man, she didn't even make her bed.
What do you know? She hid a book behind the wallpaper. Looks like a journal.
And what kind of person wouldn't make their own bed?
I know. I don't believe it. Can it be true? At tonight's meeting, I struck up a conversation with Henrietta, full stop. Charles Harris was born the day Alexander died, and he has blue eyes. Must be the same kid then. I know I shouldn't jump to conclusions, but this is too perfect to be a fluke. To be sure, I need to find something of Alexander's appropriate for an infant, maybe his old bear? April 20th. Charles loved Barney. Henrietta told me he's never seen him react with such joy of any of his playthings. There's no doubt in my mind Charles Harris is the reincarnation of my beloved Alexander. Yikes. At last we can be together again. At last I can see his forgiveness. I just need to find a way to take him from his false parents without getting Henrietta in trouble. Yeah, called it. This is a open and shut case. I had the nightmare again last night. Alexander's cries of "What did you do? Why did you do it, mother?" Were nearly too much to bear. When I have him again, I can finally explain that I couldn't do anything to stop him. This font's weird. Thomas was a monster, and I was at my wit's end. Dear Samuel had helped me so much, and there is no turning back once he had consumed the tainted pie. So he poisoned his kid, maybe. Maybe she tried to poison the husband and then poison the kid accidentally. How was I know that Alexander's friend would take ill and he would arrive home early? Watching my boy share the poisoned meal with the father was the worst moment of my life. I must get him back. Wow. Finally, months after thinking, I have a plan. Samuel's instruction on the nature of plants has been the key. I will visit Henrietta tonight at the Harris residence and prepare everything. It must look as though the burglar entered the nursery and tore his coat. In 2 nights, I'll have my baby again.
Well, this is pretty damn incriminating.
I'll say. Now we just need to figure out where she's gone, as well as how she managed to drug Mrs. Davis.
Wow.
Oh, we've got you now, Linda.
Sure
Thought you
do.
could be clever and get away with the baby, did you?
Bill?
Well, you thought wrong. With Fordham and Legere on the case, the only thing you're getting is a one-way trip to jail.
Bill?
And the worst part is how sloppy she was. I mean, really? She couldn't think to pick up a button? She might as well have left a signed confession in the crib for all the good it did her.
Bill, would you just shut up, for God's sake?
Huh? Is everything all right?
Yes, everything's just fine. I just stubbed my toe on the bed frame.
You ought to be more careful, Mr. Fordham.
Get shoes on.
Sorry, Miles. You know how I get when we're close to solving a case.
You always do this. I need to concentrate, and I can't hear myself think with you yapping away.
Right, sorry. I'll keep it to myself.
Thank you.
I
Hang
have
on.
to admit, she really would have saved us the trouble if...
Bill.
Right. Not another peep. As you were.
It's weird to think that Bill is in his head as a conscience sort of thing, but then Bill has his own as well. It's multi-layered. All right. I think that's it.
Also,
I
send
hope
someone
you were
is
able
still
to find out
reneging.
what you needed.
Yes, thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, so we need to find out. Let's go speak to old Mrs. Davis.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
I have some questions for you, Mrs. Davis.
All right.
Drugged tea.
Mrs. Davis, where did you get the tea you drank on the night of the kidnapping?
From my own private supply, I drink a blend of hibiscus and elderberry.
Oh, good flavor.
It clears the mind and puts me more in tune with the spirits.
You're crazy.
Did it taste off to you?
No. Why do you ask?
Because I think your tea may have been drugged.
Wait, are you saying?
I believe Mrs. Walker used her own herbs to drug your tea, knowing you'd drink a cup the following evening. She then snuck into the house after you'd fallen asleep and took the child.
Oh my word, I never would have thought.
I know, Mrs. Davis. But don't worry, I'm doing everything I can to find her.
Oh, may the spirits guide you, Mr. Fordham.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Well, I'd say we have everything we need to prove it was Linda who drugged Mrs. Davis's tea and took the child.
Yep.
It would be ideal if we could find out where she's gone before reporting back to Upton, though.
True.
I'll let you know if I have anything else to ask, Mrs. Davis.
All right.
I think if we could speak to the clairvoyant, and she may know.
I'll be going now, Mrs. Davis.
May the spirits guide your path.
Oh, you got some tornadoes coming through, Artie Fine. Crazy. That's scary stuff, for sure. Where? Oh, it's a ghost.
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
I don't think there's anything she can help with right now.
You sure about that?
There's quite a few members in this group.
Linda Walker. Yep. Oh.
There's quite a few.
Okay, let's see. There's nothing from Linda in here. If you're interested in Spirit Board, let us know. Look forward to whoever. Okay. Oh, her boss might know as well. We could ask him. Oh, that's right. Remember the book? Oh, that was horrible. Having to read all the books.
Yeah.
Blech. All right, let's go to her boss.
I'll be going now.
May the spirits guide you to that which you seek.
Welcome back. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Oy vey.
I think we've gotten all we can from him for now.
Really? How are we going to figure it out? Let's have a look. What do we got in our casebook? Seamstress, friend of Harrietta, believes Charles Harris is a reincarnation of a late son. Yep. Details of belief that Charles Harris was a reincarnation of her dead son Alexander, intends to kidnap the child and reclaim. Yep. Notes about plants. Linda wrote down valerian and chamomile, the perfect sedative. Okay. Tragic past. Here we go. Husband died recently as a result of murder-suicide. No, she did it like she did the pie. She killed them both. Husband was a drunk who apparently poisoned both himself and the boy. Linda tries to contact. Okay. At 30, awoke to smashing glass. Bed, torn fabric. Emblem. Track down Linda Walker. Maybe we can speak to our wife again. If you were kidnapping a child and running off, where would you go? Oh, she's not home.
Back when I was an organist, I kidnapped a child, and when we used to kidnap children, when we did, we took them to...
Exactly. See? Perfectly made bed. Look at that.
Don't worry, Miles. I don't watch when you and Adelaide are having your private time.
Oh, yeah, sure you
It would
do.
be nice if you didn't spend the whole time humming.
I thought you appreciated some romantic music.
Jesus.
Maybe we can speak with Upton, but not really, like, get some clues from her rather than solve the case. Before we do that, though, maybe we'll go to...
He's busy with his pro...
Okay.
Don't these people have jobs?
Walk my word.
Well, someone certainly wasn't shy about making their...
Okay. Nothing to do here. Excuse me. Okay. The baby's residence.
I'll let you know if I have any more questions, Mr. Harris. Sit tight, Mrs. Harris. I may have more questions for you later.
Maybe there's something in her apartment we missed?
You should talk to the landlord if you want to get back in there.
Maybe George Carlin will know.
Yes? What is it?
Do you think I might have another look inside Mrs. Walker's apartment?
All right, let's go.
It's weird because that door is the exact height of this guy on the outside. George Carlin's door.
Mm.
That was bugging me
These will
before a
make
little
great
bit.
evidence in Linda's trial. These will. I don't know about. Torn apart. Torn apart. The books she left behind are all trashy romance novels. Why wouldn't she take those? They're clearly the best ones.
Have you ever read a romance novel like a Danielle Steele or anything, Steve?
Not like one of those. I think I know enough of them. I think I might have like at someone's house just opened one and read a couple of pages, but not properly.
Mm-hmm.
The books she left behind.
Maybe the trash pile probably has something
You're
useful.
actually gonna dig through that mess? I sure hope it's worth it.
Okay. All right, good. The Solomon stitch. Oh, we can actually move these around. That's pretty sweet. I'll put you over here. Put you here.
A receipt with yesterday's date. One-way train ticket to Pierre in Lorraine. Departed this afternoon.
Thought she could get away easy, it seems. Well, I hate to disappoint her.
Nice.
A receipt with
Thought she could.
Okay. That should be it, I assume. It's not our job as a private investigator to hunt her down, though, right? We're not Dog the Bounty Hunter. We're just...
No, I think we just report it.
Let's have a look at the casebook and see what it says. Okay, yeah, now it says to actually return and accuse. I think we did a bloody good job on this case.
I hope you were able to find out what you needed.
Yes, thank you for your cooperation.
Let's see what's going on in the chat. Street flooding in town. Oof, floods. So as far as natural disasters go in Australia, we're pretty lucky. The only ones we really get is fire, flood, the occasional like hurricane up north, but not really here at least. We're not on a fault line, so we don't really get earthquakes that often.
Yeah, North or Western Australia gets them. Our area doesn't get them, but we get the rural areas here sometimes get flooding or fire.
Yeah. We'd be so screwed if we got like tornadoes and stuff because like in general, Australia doesn't have basements, so you can't actually go anywhere to hide. You'd have to just evacuate.
Yeah, but then basements aren't safe if there's an earthquake.
Yeah, earthquake not so much.
It depends on your region, which we don't get. I mean, we technically get earthquakes and none damaging. Remember when we got that big earthquake that wasn't big enough to be destructive, but it was big enough to freak people out?
Yeah, it feels yuck. Like that's the best way to describe it. Like
yeah,
like you're
and
dizzy
then,
but
so
sitting
social
still.
media just became interminable because everyone was talking about the earthquake, and then that post came around of like there's like lawn chairs and one of them's tipped over, and it had the subtitle "We will rebuild."
Yeah, exactly. Yo, Connie.
Go on, I'm listening.
Okay, at least that would be less concerning if you thought it was construction, because that would be scary if you're in a skyscraper and an earthquake hits.
Oh yeah, the wibbita wabbita of the building. Yeah, that's yuck.
So I guess there's the buildings that are made to give so that they wobble instead of shatter, but then regardless of whether it's that or not, it's just the idea of like if a quake's big enough to topple this building, then I'm completely fucked.
Was it Thailand that had a recent earthquake and that exact same thing happened? Like a skyscraper just fell to the ground because I guess it wasn't built to withstand it.
I hadn't heard about that.
I think it was a 7.7 on the Richter scale. It was pretty huge. Yeah, I saw a video of the actual thing. It's yuck. It's just the typical same as when the two towers fell. That the dust that just rolls through the town. It was like that. Oh.
That's the thing that's never not often portrayed properly in movies because it obscures the vision and makes it duller. But yeah, just the dust, just the cloud of dust that comes up when a building topples.
Coffee has arrived. Oh shit, there's a leak, Lise. One moment. Yeah, it's worth checking that Thailand one though. It's pretty crazy. Just one sec. I gotta go get a napkin. I'll be back in a moment. If you want to vamp, Steve.
Okay. I don't know. I've been watching the second season of Arcane because I don't usually watch TV because it's either like private time is usually just go straight to the computer and not think about it. But I've been going through Arcane, and yeah, last episode was kind of the watch last night. Not the last
time,
episode of the thing, but the episode I watched last night was a bit of a doozy. I won't say anything about it, but yeah, it was a bit of a doozy. But yeah, enjoying that. Otherwise, last week in the midweek point click spot, I finished 6 hours trying to get to the end, and it just kept going.
Did you finish it on stream? Because I can't watch for 6 hours, especially when you stream at like 2 in the morning.
That was 6 hours, and I still didn't get to it. It seems like I'm right at the end, but that's what it felt like when I was at the start of the stream. I thought that was going to be the last stream of Kingdom Come, but then I think there's got to be just one left. I can't think of how it would extend.
What's next after Kingdom Come?
Not sure. I've been thinking about it actually yesterday. I thought about it a bit. Where there's a game that I really like, and I've avoided playing it. I would have played it right at the early time of streaming, but I didn't because it's basically a game called Iconoclasts, and it's really fun and stuff.
Yeah.
But whenever I've seen someone stream it, they're at the boring section, and it's like, oh, is that one of those things where there's certain beats I really love, but like when you're watching it rather than playing it, there's a whole section that's a slog. Recently I've been thinking, what if I just streamed it anyway?
Yeah.
And maybe saved and stopped at a point where I know there's going to be a slog and do that offline, and then maybe do a bit of that so it's not too dull.
I think what you might think is a slog, people watching might actually enjoy. So you I don't know, if you've never seen it before, it's still worth doing, even if it is a slog, because you can still have conversations and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think there'll be 2 sections I'll try to do offline, because I just remember and some of it is just going across the world, but they're going to guess crosscode was similar. But there's like 2 sections that are just frustrating, where it's just, because it's just a complex of, with elevators, and the whole thing seems like a puzzle, which it kind of is, but it's not one of those, like even when you do it, you can't do it fast the second time. It's just, it's not a straightforward puzzle. You just got to push up, constantly traverse this building for the next bit you can get past, and it's just this puzzle that you just got to push against till it's done, and it's just dull, and there's that bit. I just remember just randomly going to someone's stream to see what it's like watching a stream, and he was stuck at that point, and it's like, but maybe I can do that offline.
That was, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I also played this game. It's a Metroidvania, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. And you got like a wrench or something?
A giant wrench, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good.
Somebody guy that did a game. There's a free game, so you might want to check it out. Probably have to download it, because I remember the day you had to download it. I don't know if it's on Steam or anything. It's called Legend of Princess. So it's this guy that just makes games, tries to get money from to finance the next ones, but just does it because he likes making games. But
like
Legend
Neil
of
Breen of
Princess
games,
better quality output than Neil Breen. Yeah, that's the one, Legend of Princess. So Legend of Princess is a side-scroller, and it's got Zelda-like art and stuff. But the clever part, so it's a mixture of puzzles and action, similar to a Zelda game, but it's almost like a Link Zelda 2 done right, where it's side-scroller that's actually good.
Yep.
The interesting part is, instead of a difficulty, it's got difficulty levels, but instead of a difficulty level, you can pick between 3 items as your special, and then 3 ways of, jumping. So, and those things are tiered to easy, medium, hard, and they completely change some of the puzzles depending on what you choose. So
when you mean like that, is like one you jump higher, but the other one double jump kind of thing.
Yeah, also the example is uneasy. The jumping thing is a rock feather, which gives you double jump. And the second one, like the harder one, or maybe the hardest, I forget which one it is. One of them is a chicken, so you can't actually jump higher, but you can glide.
Right.
Like do the jump, like continue to press the, but it also means you got to spam the jump button to do the gliding thing. It's like that kind of mechanic.
Gotcha. It kind of reminds me of Cyberpunk. You've got different options for jumping in that game too.
And for the secondary weapon, like easy is the boomerang, so you're just whacking people with it. And then the hardest one is bombs, which is you got to plant them and get the enemy to run over them. And yeah,
That's pretty smart.
and to do the timing properly. So yeah, that's like a very clever way of doing the difficulty, but also doesn't just make it harder. It's like you can do a second run through with, okay, I'll try to solve the puzzles with these things. Yes, that's super clever. So I'd advise that game, or I was thinking of maybe playing that as a little taster before Iconoclast.
Awesome. No, that's cool. Also, welcome in, Tongs. Nice to see you did some announcement audio little bites. Hope you're doing well. All right. Well, let's review the case and then wrap it up.
Can we go over my current case?
Of course. What have you got?
Are you familiar with the term metempsychosis?
No. What is it?
Apparently, some mystics and philosophers maintain that it's a process whereby human and animal souls are transferred to new bodies upon death.
Fascinating. Some people have such queer ideas. What's that got to do with the kidnapping, though?
I believe it may be the motive for the kidnapping.
Intriguing. I can't wait to hear your findings.
That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay. Who's your prime suspect?
Why, it's Arthur Devons, of course.
It was Linda Walker,
Who is she?
a seamstress who befriended the Harris family nanny. She took the child
That's
because she
funny,
believes he's the
Tonks.
reincarnation of her deceased son, whom she accidentally poisoned.
My God.
You'll find a journal explaining her motive at her apartment, as well as the plants she used to drug Mrs. Davis.
But what about the broken window in the nursery?
All part of a false crime scene she set up to draw our attention away from her.
Excellent work, Miles. Did you manage to find out where Mrs. Walker is now?
Yes, I found a receipt for a one-way train ticket to Pierre, which departed this afternoon.
Fantastic. We can send a telegram to the train station and have her arrested upon arrival. You've done extremely well for them.
Damn straight we
We
have.
can only hope to have a detective as good as you again.
You flatter me.
Then I'd better stop before your head gets any bigger. All right, Miles. I'll go through the proper channels and report your information as an anonymous tip. And of course, I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan fund to get you proper compensation for your work.
Woo!
For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Achievement.
Lucky Lorraine. An awfully cute baby you got there.
Oh, thank you, sir. This is my son, Alexander.
Alexander. That's a good name. Strong name.
Strong name.
Yes, thank you. I don't mean to be rude, but
That needs to be taken,
I'm
right?
in a bit of a hurry and I need to get to my hotel.
Of course. I won't keep you any longer, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you. Wait. How did you know my name?
I didn't. It was a lucky guess. But now, seeing as I know your name, allow me to tell you mine. I'm Sheriff Zeke Dollarhide. Linda Walker, you are under arrest for the kidnapping of Charles Harris. Surrender the child and come with me.
No, you've got it all wrong. This is my son. This is my Alexander.
Ma'am, please don't make this difficult. Come along to the station and we'll get this all sorted out.
Damn. Okay, so we actually got a conclusion to that case. So we obviously got the first one
Patty,
wrong.
Are you home?
Still at her appointment, it would seem. You know, Miles, I have to say, I'm proud of you.
Why's that?
It's because you actually listened.
So does this mean you'll keep quiet until morning?
I said I was proud of you. I didn't say you were getting a reprieve.
There you go.
I need to figure out how I'm going to sleep through the night without the soporific.
You worry about that too much, Miles. You can sleep when you're dead.
You don't ever seem to.
That's because I slept quite enough when I was alive.
In any case, I need to clear my head. The best way to do that after a case was always going for a drink at the Angel.
The Angel? But you haven't been there since...
Since you died. But perhaps getting back into old routines will help.
Perhaps. It would be nice to see old Patrick again at the very least. Then it's settled. A drink or two at the Angel, for old time's sake.
I know how we can justify it,
I
Steve.
have to say, it's been a real pleasure having you back, Miles. I was worried
Justify
about you.
what?
I appreciate
One
your
sec, I'll tell
concern,
you.
Patrick. The past few months have been a bit rough, but it's good to be back in familiar territory.
Miles, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Well, it may be none of my business, and you can feel free to tell me to stuff it.
Enough with the preamble, Patrick. Just ask.
I know you quit the force, but why are you still working as a private investigator? Why not leave all that detecting stuff behind?
All right, so here's my headcanon. We failed the first case because we were on soporific. We stopped the soporific. We got our keen edge back. We annihilated the case with extreme prejudice and just, yeah. That's the way I'm going to do it headcanon-wise. I don't know if Robot Space is in... Or actually, maybe... We should, maybe at the very end, if we do fail cases along the way, see who the actual killers were. Maybe we'll look it up and see.
Yeah, it also seems like that one was more straight. There was no like fake. Because that one had the obviously like that's what everyone thinks, and it's like no, it won't be that person. But then the other person seemed to fit pretty well. But the fact that there was further people on, that's like really complicated. Whereas this one, the first person that matched was the one.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering
true.
if that was, but then I'm wondering if that's on purpose to make you feel like, oh, the first one I fucked up because I was on soporific.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's much easier.
Because there wasn't really good tutorializing of how to actually, like, it doesn't say you will be locked out of conversations if you choose the wrong answer, things like that. So we were sort of, you know, blindly stumbling, but yeah. All right. Yeah, Tongs wants us to shoot the baby, so we have another, like a ghost baby in our head. Oh, wouldn't that be the worst with it just crying all the time?
Yeah, well, when I saw that, I was going to make the joke of like, what if they, I guess this would be too much work for them to do, but every failed case, like in that first case, the woman we fingered, what if she got the death penalty and then she became a voice in her head as well?
Yeah.
And like if you fuck up every case, then you'll get this like this chorus of people.
For sure, for sure. That'd be actually a cool mechanic. My question is, so Bill's in our head. We essentially shot Bill, he fell to his death, and he died. His consciousness goes into our head, and now we're walking around with a ghost in our head. If we die, do we then go in the head of somebody else, and then Bill's in our head? So it's like this babushka doll of different personalities? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Collect them like Pokemon, exactly.
It's just something I have to do. If I don't, I'll go crazy.
It's rare to meet someone so dedicated to their profession.
No, it's not that. It's something else. It's really not worth getting into.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Just figured I'd ask. Now then, will you be wanting another drink?
I'm not sure. I've already had 2. I should probably be getting... Wait a minute. Patrick, do you hear something?
No, Miles. I don't hear anything.
Neither do
Chris is gone. We'll sleep in the pub.
Another gin, if you please.
Oh.
Right up.
So we're going to become an alcoholic instead. Right.
Oh, is it the alcohol, or is it just that the ghost doesn't want to, because he didn't seem to want to go to the pub?
I must have taken a wrong turn back there.
Dunno.
Hopefully Addie won't hear me come in.
Who's this creep? Is this the guy that we shot at? Want me to find out? What are you buying?
Guess going to be really pissed with us if we let him get away again because we're too pissed.
Excuse me, sir. Could you spare a shilling?
Here you are.
Here you are, my good man.
You always were willing to help the less fortunate, weren't you? But perhaps you should start thinking about helping yourself.
I beg your pardon?
Just look at yourself. I may be a beggar, but even I feel sorry for you.
Wait a minute. I know you.
You? I know you.
Yes, that's right. I'm your biggest failure.
What are you talking about?
Come now, Miles, you're not completely stupid. You think finding and catching me is going to make things better?
Yes, I owe it to Bill.
Yes, I do. I owe it to Bill, and that's enough to make it worth doing.
That's very touching. But you need to face reality. Let's say you do find me, and this grand chase finally ends. What do you do the next morning? You still have a dead partner, no real job. Your wife knows you've been keeping things from her. Even if you solve 100 cases, it won't relieve that empty feeling inside.
What's your point?
I'm all you've got, Miles. Once I'm gone, there'll be nothing left.
Oh.
So just admit it. You don't want to find me.
It's like the Joker and Batman dynamic.
Bad dreams?
You could say that.
You did let us sleep, I guess.
My head. How many drinks did I have last night?
You're asking the wrong person. I was out after the first one.
It seems Miss Maxwell was right about the effects of spirits. Go figure.
Yeah, well, let's not make a habit out of it, all right?
When was the last time you were hungover, Steve?
I think about 1 or 2 months ago. It wasn't full hungover. It was just like
seedy.
Yeah, like it was one of those things of like the boss taking me out for a meeting lunch where he fills me up with wine, basically. I think I woke up a little bit rough, but I don't know if that's counts.
Does he give you a free day off if you call in sick the next day because he wined and dined you?
That's always on a Friday, so...
Clever. He knows what's going on.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I was properly hungover. What about you?
Oh, very long time. I never...
Yeah.
I like to edge on the like when I have a drink, enough to get tipsy, but not enough to go over that, because then you don't get any hangover at all.
So, you're up at last.
Is something the matter, Addie?
Oh, I see. You don't remember last night, do you?
Uh-oh.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Please tell me I didn't do anything stupid last night.
No, I wouldn't use the word stupid.
Oh, thank God.
Disgusting and shameful would be more appropriate, I think.
Oh. What did I do exactly?
It was nearly 2 when you burst in here, soused to the eyeballs from God knows where. I imagine you've probably forgotten that too. You were muttering something about peace and quiet, and then proceeded to relieve yourself on my begonias before stumbling into bed.
Charming.
Oh,
I salute you, O Vice Admiral of the Narrow Seas.
Good God. How embarrassing. I'm so sorry, Addie. I don't know what came over me.
I don't either. I've never seen you in such a state, and I pray that I never will again.
Oof. Nothing worse than being disappointed.
I just bit off more than I could chew last night. I promise you, it won't happen again.
What possessed you to go out and get so drunk anyway?
We're celebrating.
I decided to stop taking the soporific. It was interfering with my ability to focus on cases. I thought perhaps having a drink or two would help me sleep, and I got a bit carried away.
I see. Well, I'm at least glad you've stopped taking that terrible medicine. But trading it for alcohol? This had better really be a one-time occurrence. Anyway, you got another message from Upton. It's there on the table, if you're feeling fit for the world now.
I'm glad to say that I've never been in the doghouse like this before. Oh my gosh. Fordham, a new case has come in, but the police are already investigating. Details have made their way into the newspaper. I won't be able to meet you at the Raoul. So here are the details. The deceased is Desiree Lathan. Her apartment is at 480 Right Way. Good luck, Cupton.
Huh.
What does Upton say this time?
The that she can't meet me and that I should go straight to the scene of the crime.
I wonder if that means the police have started to suspect that she's giving you these cases.
She also says news of this case has been made public, and the police are already investigating. Have you heard of Desiree Lathan?
Yes, there's something about her in today's paper. I didn't read the article, though. Where's the crime scene?
840 Right Way. It's not too far from here, thankfully.
You're sure you're feeling up to this today?
I'll be fine. The mental exercise will get me back to normal in no time.
What if Cupton is the killer and that's why she couldn't make it? All right, let's see. Oh, look at this. Harris baby found. Yay. Where is... Oh, here we go. Gascon Grandon found burned to death. Okay. Desiree Lathan, age 63, was found burned to death in her home yesterday morning. Police were called to the scene by a neighbor who smelled smoke, only to find the grisly scene. Miss Lathan in her bed. Body burnt to ashes. Would be spontaneous human combustion. The circumstance of Miss Lathan's death are unknown, but the police... What if it's a faulty boiler, and it's the boiler that we were tinkering with? But the police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play. Lathan was born in New Britannia, the daughter of a wealthy plantation owner. She grew to become one of the most loved and respected Gascon Grandon. Although she had many suitors over the years, Lathan never married. An avid reader, writer, and poet, Miss Lathan had several articles published in the local newspaper and magazines. Residents of Gascon said that they will miss seeing her in the brightly coloured hats, dresses as she walked by. Okay.
Well, this is shaping up to be quite the investigation. I should probably get a move on before the police ruin the crime scene any more than they already have.
Good luck, Miles. And stay away from the bars, would you?
When I was a little bolty boy, I had a book about like strange occurrences, and one of them was spontaneous human combustion, and it had a photo. You know, like novels sometimes would have actual, like in the middle, there were photo pages. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I got Gilbert Gottfried's book that he made, and that's got like a bunch of pictures of him in the middle, exact same way.
Because I think I had the
more modern version.
The Ghostbusters novel was like that too. That was really cool. It had like the movie scenes in it. But anyway, it wasn't really a novel per se, but it still had those picture pages, and one of them was just 2 leg stumps and the body was burnt off.
Thanks.
I shouldn't be gone too long.
I look forward to your return.
Mentioning the doghouse reminded me, this is a story I was told. It was told from the person who does the voice emotes on my channel. They were saying this is towards the end of COVID, and
not the Toho one.
No, not the Toho one. It was towards the end of the COVID, so there was her partner. They're married now. I forget if they're married back then, but they just moved into a new place, and then he went with his work buddies to a social drinking, the pub for drinks and stuff, and got basically pissed. I think she knew it was going to be pissed, but she was annoyed and upset because this was when COVID was kind of winding down, when we're still kind of like things were opened up, but we're still trying to keep isolated to an extent.
Yep.
So she said that she sent him a picture of the couch, their new couch, and we asked why she did that. Like, he texted back why she did that. She goes, "Oh, I just showed you that I made your bed."
That's funny. Yeah, thankfully I've never had to like sleep on the couch or anything like that.
Looks as though we've arrived fashionably late.
Excuse me, sir, but this is an active crime scene. We can't allow members of the public.
Oh, this isn't just any member of the public, Kane. This is Miles Fordham. He used to be one of us until he killed his partner.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Officer Parsons is on the scene. It's a shock the apartment isn't in a shambles.
Good day to you too, officers.
Fordham? What are you doing here?
Hello.
Ah, Captain Snelling. What a pleasure.
That's Chief Snelling now, Fordham. I don't expect you follow the workings of the department much these days, but I'd appreciate the proper address.
So nice to see that power hasn't gone to his head.
My apologies, Chief Snelling.
You haven't answered my question. What in blazes are you doing here?
Got a bit on the nose. What in blazes? Figured investigating the crime would actually give it a chance of being solved.
You want this crime solved, don't you? I'm conducting my own query. I could be an asset to your investigation.
Out of the question. This is an active crime scene, Fordham. Leave the premises immediately.
We work together, we can solve it in no time. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
We could solve this case in no time if we work together, you know.
We don't need any help. Not even from former detectives. Parsons, I'm going back to the station. I want your report the minute you're done here. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get any funny ideas, Fordham. If you so much as breathe on anything in here, I'll have you arrested for tampering with a crime scene. Do I make myself clear?
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Your impudence is going to catch up with you one of these days, Fordham.
I suppose it's reassuring that even in this crazy, ever-changing world, you can always count on Snelling to be a complete ass.
You heard the chief. No snooping around. The sooner you get out of here, the better for all of us.
Oh, no snooping, eh? Well, that's what I'm going to do.
No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open.
Do you have plants in your apartment, Steve? Like a succulent or something?
Nah, I think I've got to.
Yeah, it's
But, yeah,
it's
I don't
good.
know. It's the air and...
An
But
invitation
yeah,
to the
I thought just way
Gascon
back going whenever I
Grandam's
can.
Ball. It seems it was held 2 nights ago at the Gascon Supper Club. Might be worth looking into, seeing as it's our only lead right now.
One time I went for a job at Slack. I didn't get the job. Even with nepotism, I still didn't get the job. Bastards. But anyway, one of the good things about their office is it was like a jungle. There was so much greenery in there. You walk in, and I was expecting like a Velocisaurus. What are they? Dilophosaurus? Is that the spitters?
Oh, Dilophosaurus is the spitter.
Yeah, I was just expecting one of them to come out from the thing. It was so green. It was so good. I could really enjoy working in an office that was just like greenery like that.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique taste in fashion. I bet you could see her coming a mile away.
When I was apartment hunting, there was a place that was just outside my my price range. But I used to refer to it as the dream house because it was like I kind of did fall for it a bit.
Yep.
Even though the apartment itself was a bit restrictive, but part of it was the building seemed really cool. But one of the things was downstairs where they've got like the gym and a spa and a whole bunch of facilities. But then they had just plants all over the walls in this section. And to get to it, they had a door, because I guess they knew they had a door that kind of cut off all the moisture so that when you walked into it, it was like walking into a sauna. Like just the plants alone. It's just like the air is like heavy and moist. And it was kind of like a greenhouse, but a greenhouse that's more isolated and the plants are actually keeping moisture in.
You could do it in your bathroom because that's going to be a wet area anyway. So just buy heaps of ferns and stuff and just line up your bathroom.
Put on all the walls, yeah. Except they get no sunlight there. But this one's wouldn't have gotten sunlight. I wonder how they worked.
Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative? Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
From the dialogue earlier, so when he came home drunk, did he just piss on a pot plant? Because she mentioned pissing on my...
Flowers, yeah.
She named a type of flower. Does that mean he just went in a pot plant?
I hope not. I'm hoping it's like the flower bed outside, like he took a piss.
Yeah, okay, well, it's must in there. Because that's what I was thinking, like, that's usually the case of, like, you go in the garden. But when she said it, I just pictured the pot plant. It's like, okay, that's more disgusting than... Like, the idea of going in a pot plant is just disgusting. And also probably would kill the plant because that'd be too much.
Did you ever...
The soil would be too drenched.
Did you hear the story about how Dan Reichert pissed on his dad's CDs when he was asleep? Like he slept, walked, and pissed on all over his CDs?
No. I didn't hear that.
Thankfully, I've never had to. I don't know. I don't really wake up and need to pee or anything like that, and I don't pee outside either. I just feel like peeing outside is like risky business. Like all it takes is for someone to see you do it, and then you all of a sudden a predator.
Yeah, my closest was was the neighbor where I used to live with my dad, the neighbor, which we got along pretty well. So we got invited to his Bucks night, and we're basically going. We had a party bus that would take us bar hopping, basically.
Yep.
And one stage they had us. We're outside, and I needed to pee really badly. And the other guys were going off and peeing on a tree and coming back. But I resisted because it's like, I'll just get caught if I do it.
Yeah.
And then it built up too much where it's like, okay, I've got to do it. So I walked off into this park area, went on a tree, and I heard someone say, "Oi, what are you doing there?"
Oh.
And I've turned around thinking it's some sort of smart ass, but turned around to see two cops approaching me.
Oh, that's the worst case scenario. That's exactly the.
I know. It's like, and this was so the bus was. didn't have my orientation. I didn't realize what was nearby, but apparently this was the park in front of Parliament. So.
Oh, is this on Spring Street?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's a good park.
Exhibition or Spring.
Yep.
And yes, because I really need to go. And he goes, you're basically pissing on Parliament right now. And then I panicked because it's like, this guy's super patriotic. And I said, is he just going to be so insulted that he's going to throw the book at me? And then I just finally said, all right, just piss off, just be careful next time, don't do it again, and told me to piss off.
Oh, that could have gone a complete other way. Wow, let that be a moral to you kiddies. Don't go and pee outside in public, because anything can happen.
Excuse me, Officer Parsons.
Clear off, Fordham. The chief doesn't want you here, and neither do I. You aren't on the force anymore, so you've got to respect the rules, just like every other citizen.
He'd be respecting my fist if I were alive, believe me.
I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just want to ask a few questions.
Well, if it will get you to leave faster.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
Nothing.
Because you don't know?
No, because I'm not going to betray Chief Snelling's orders and divulge that information to the public.
Come on, Parsons, you know me. What harm would it do to tell me just a little bit?
Do I have to state the obvious? If it were up to me, you'd be in jail for murdering an officer.
I wouldn't make such claims without knowing the facts, Parsons. It could get you in serious trouble. It'd be a real tragedy to see your career cut short and you back in the workhouse polishing airship rivets.
You don't scare me, Fordham.
Rest assured, the feeling is mutual. Have you made much progress on this investigation?
Did you not hear me the first time, Fordham? Drop it before I have to arrest you for interfering with a police investigation.
You won't do that. It's too much paperwork.
You're looking well these days, Parsons. What's your secret?
Secret? I don't know. Maybe something about getting a good night's sleep without blood on my hands does wonders.
Hatter! How you doing, bud? It is Mungo Jerry. You're right. Glad to see you.
How long has Officer Kane been on the force?
I'm not one to gossip, Fordham.
That's only the second most hypocritical thing I've heard today.
Ask him yourself if you're so interested.
Why was Chief Snelling here anyway?
He's the chief of police, and this is an official investigation. It doesn't take a grand leap of logic.
Yes, but the chief of police never bothers with a crime scene unless it's of great importance.
Your point?
Does that mean this crime scene is, in fact, of great importance?
You're the investigator, Fordham. I'll leave you to work that one out.
That's all I wanted to know.
Good.
I get a feeling he doesn't like us very much.
No.
Maybe this guy will.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I'm afraid not. You don't have clearance in this investigation.
And there's nothing I can say to convince you otherwise?
My superiors would be very upset if they knew I was breaking.
At least this guy's reasonable.
Sorry.
I think the operative phrase in this instance is if they knew. We need to find a way to get Parsons out of here. Maybe we should visit Upton at the station.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been on the force, officer?
2 months, sir.
And how's it treating you so far?
This is where I was meant to be.
That's good to hear.
Parsons mentioned you used to be a detective?
I was, yes, for 15 years. It wasn't always easy, but I loved every minute of it.
Parsons goes on about how he's got his eye on becoming a detective, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
Is that right?
Yes, he's up for review. I think he's trying to impress Snelling to improve his chances.
Parsons wants to be a detective? Now I've heard it all. As if he needed more of a reason to be Snelling's lapdog.
There's something exciting about being a detective, but I wouldn't want to be a beat cop, and I think you have to be a beat cop first. You can't just apply to be a detective. Yeah, that's a shame.
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
I don't like to talk about my colleagues, sir, especially when they're standing right over there.
I understand. Perhaps this isn't the right time to be asking. What was Chief Snelling doing here?
Nothing more than a routine inspection of the crime scene.
Routine inspection? But the Chief of Police only goes to extremely high-profile crime scenes.
I couldn't possibly comment on that, sir.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Okay. Top bloke, shit bloke.
Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite... Let's just hope her taste was better than Madame Dupre's.
Okay, I think we've got everything. I think it's time to
So
go.
we can't look at that book. They don't let us sneak, right?
No, it's just that it was
No title.
no title on it.
I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open.
This Chops would basically deck me if I tried, I guess. Exactly, Hats. That's the best perk of the job. And it's always you pull a rubber glove out of your pocket as you enter.
We'd be coming back here in this lifetime.
Fordham? Have you solved the case already?
Don't I wish? I haven't even gotten started.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Just be sure not to let Snelling see you.
Is he back yet?
He arrived a few minutes ago. I expect he'll be sequestered in his office today, so you shouldn't have to worry too much.
Good to know. Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
All right.
Back to work, I see.
Yes, well, the coffee shop holiday had to end eventually. I'm gonna have to find someplace else to meet you. The higher-ups are getting suspicious.
To be honest, it was a bit wretched there. I won't miss it.
Well then, Mr. Big Bug, you can have the honor of choosing the next place. Under a bridge somewhere, perhaps.
Have you been able to find any leads on Bill's death?
Have you?
Not yet, no.
I don't want to get your hopes up, but I may have something.
Oh?
The man you're looking for, he was burgling a flower shop, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
I couldn't help but notice that in the last 2 cases you've had, plants have been used to drug people.
Noticed that
It
too.
may just be a coincidence, but I also think it's something worth looking out for. If it becomes a pattern, there's a good chance it might be related.
But 2 different people did the drugging.
True, but in both cases, they learned from someone else.
Oh.
It's a stretch, but it's better than nothing. I'll take it into consideration.
It's a crime ring of plant drugging. You know, Steve, a game that I've been playing... go on, you go first.
Or it's like Avowed, where there are different cases, but it's the same person setting up shit.
One of the games I've been playing is that new Prince of Persia Lost Crown. It's a Metroidvania Prince of Persia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Very, very much worth getting if you're up for a, Metroidvania on PC. I'm playing it on PS5, but it's pretty cheap on PC. It's like $30 or something like that.
Does it come out like half a year or something like that ago? 'Cause I think I saw someone stream when it was first coming out, like when it was doing its promotion rounds.
Yeah, I think about 6 months ago. Yeah, it's very good.
I'm having some trouble with Officer Parsons.
You and everyone else who's ever met him. What's the problem?
He's keeping me away from the Lathan crime scene.
Of course. He's one of the most loyal to Snelling.
Any suggestions for how I might get him away so I can look around?
I might have an idea. There are several reported crimes that haven't been assigned yet, and Parsons is itching to prove his investigative chops. He'd probably abandon his post for a good enough lead and a chance to impress Snelling.
Ooh.
Upton, oh good, you impress me.
Department politics are something of a specialty of mine.
Hang on, is her name Upton O'Good? As in, up to no good? No, it's...
I didn't catch it.
I think he's just trying to be funny, maybe.
About getting Parsons away from the crime scene?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes. The body of a young man was found in the Hodgman River by the Gascon docks this morning. A woman in Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage. And that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Last name is Upton.
Yeah. We're pretty familiar with gunshots. Let's do that one.
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson reported hearing a sound she described as a single gunshot coming from her neighbor's apartment last night. She said she had been hearing arguments over the past several weeks, and there may have been domestic violence involved. When she knocked on the door, she got no answer, but she said she noticed the distinct smell of flowers.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
What do you reckon? Which of the... Hang on, let's try another one.
Actually, let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Okay, so which of these do you reckon?
That we use as a case to try to get that guy away.
Yeah, which is the most one that would get him a detective promotion?
Body at the docks.
All right, let's have a
Tell me
listen.
more about the body found at the docks.
An unidentified man in his 20s was found in the river near the docks. The dock worker who reported it said that the body was bloated and decomposing. It must have been in the river several days. Dr. Edwards performed a postmortem and determined the cause of death to be a blow to the head.
I see. Certainly leaves a lot of questions.
Do you think Parsons will be interested?
What I'm thinking in this, if there is a link between the crimes and flowers, maybe we should steer him away from the one with the body that smells like flowers, because we might need to look into that, and he'd be a problem. Let's listen to the other one.
Let's try another one.
All right, which one?
Give me the details about the factory explosion.
The owner of the Hawkins Steelworks reported an explosion at his factory that killed 2 of his workers. He says he's been getting several threatening letters about his current project.
And so he suspects someone has sabotaged the operation?
Yes, likely the Redites. Do you think Parsons will be interested?
2 bodies. That's one more body than the other 2 cases. Do you think that would be better? I'm kind of thinking that could be the way to go. What do you think?
Yeah, but it sounds like the thing they said sounds like it could be a union issue. I thought the body of the dock, even though it's one body, to me made sense of it's just murder investigation. If you solve that, then you can say you've solved a murder as opposed to
No, actually, let's
my hands
try
dirty
another
with
one.
union issues.
All right, which one?
Let's go with the bloated body.
Tell me more about the body.
An unidentified, the dock worker, Dr. Edwards.
I see.
Do you think Parsons?
Yes.
Sounds good. Let's go with
But
that
that
one.
one's
All right, I'll send out the
decent, but
report
yeah.
as soon as we're done talking.
All right.
Any updates on the Harris baby?
Oh, yeah.
He's back home and doing well thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
You did an impressive job.
Sure did.
I admit I was a bit concerned about how you'd fare after months of taking it easy. But I suppose detective work is like riding a bicycle.
It's a guaranteed way to end up with a broken arm.
I see the Gazette has caught wind of this supposed mass murderer.
Yes, Snelling has been positively fuming about it. Between that and the Lathan case being publicized on the same day, it's been a nightmare for the department.
Any idea how they got the information?
I don't think anyone in the department has spoken to the press. Maybe they just have some very good reporters.
So, is it serious? Should we be concerned?
3 murders is nothing to sneeze at, but all the victims have been men in Chumley. If that changes, then things might start getting urgent.
Isn't that just the way of things? You can bet they'd have already caught the bastard if the first body had turned up in Leon.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Oh, look at this flag.
Yeah, I was going to mention that before, but I can't recognize it. I don't know if it's fictional or not.
Yeah. I mean,
it feels like one I've seen before, though.
It kind of... Color-wise, it's very similar to New Zealand's flag. It's just that the stars are in the wrong order.
Yeah, I thought in New Zealand, but it's like there's no way it's that because they would have done like accents and stuff.
Yeah.
Or
maybe it'll tell us.
But then it did remind me of the New Zealand one.
The old Jack and Stars. Sure
Of
was
course, maybe
nice
the
when
idea
that sign
that-
didn't apply to us. Miles, are you crazy? If you go wandering around the department for no good reason, Snelling will have you thrown in the jail.
I liked it. It's the old-timey way of spelling jail, too.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone read those books. I'm half convinced they're purely decorative. Prime Minister Atwood, watching over the department.
Prime Minister, too, not a president.
Signature scowl.
Yeah, that I noticed as well. Made me think because we sort of suspected it does seem like a set in Britain, but it is set in Vespuccia. That flag is the flag of Vespuccia.
Okay. The supper club, hey? Oh, look at this mullet. Oh, it's the mullet of Five Tails. That's, yeah.
Nobody's bothered clearing this table yet, it seems. The bridge to Lyon overlooking the House of Parliament. I suppose that seeing that helps the patrons of this club put on airs.
It almost looks like an octopus on their head.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials.
Okay,
you couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish.
Oh, no. Listen to how they pronounced it.
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and cordials. You couldn't pay me to drink that rubbish.
Cordial. Come on now.
Yes, the idea is that this is America, an alternate history where America didn't become independent from Britain, and instead became the country of Vespuccia.
Ah, so they didn't commit treason.
Yeah.
Dronin, how you doing? You just finished this last week? Excellent. How'd you like it?
Excuse me, miss?
Oh, well, hello there, handsome. I've never seen you around here before.
Hello.
Care to join me for a drink?
Oh, we got a Blanche in the bar. The word is cordial. Cordial, rather than cordial. Cordial for us especially is like, you know, you got Kool-Aid and things like that. You use the powdered flavor with the water and make a jug of tang, I guess. Ours is in liquid form, so you can actually go buy cordials at the supermarket and you mix it, yeah, the same way, but. Oh yeah, we came to the same conclusion, Dronin. So the first episode, or the first case, we found that we were stumbling along because there was no real tutorial or aim of what to do, and we locked ourselves out. So I think we actually we fingered the wrong person, but yeah, good though, enjoying it.
A bit early in the day, don't you think?
Perhaps I would think.
Wait, yes,
if I wasn't on my third cocktail.
Impressive.
Othello.
You may have just met your match.
The name's Miles Fordham, and you are?
Charlotte Robineau.
Pleasure. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions?
I suppose not. It would help pass the time.
What were you saying?
You said that the previous two cases involved drugging, like by flowers, which is like seems linked to the case where a partner got shot.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that first case, the person we fingered, it was electrocution, not. Or did she also drug them?
Well,
I thought I remember something to do with herbs, but I thought
it was more that she was into botany at university, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that gives an indication of who. We never really met anyone that was using flowers for I mean, I guess her brother. What if it was her brother? Because he's got the little science kit, right? That and maybe he was using herbs and stuff there. I don't know. We'll find out after we beat the game, I guess. She looks way more classy in this photo than her octopus hair in the other one.
Were you here for the Grand Dame's ball the other night?
Of course. We all were. Well, except for Laura. Terrible business.
You mean Laura Dupre?
The very same. Have you met?
She's got that lip thing.
I have. In fact, I investigated her attempted murder.
Is that right? I heard it was her daughter who did it.
Yeah.
That's what the evidence pointed to, yes.
It's always so ghastly when family relations turn sour.
That's pretty good that it actually changed the way, like, because we fingered the daughter, that she mentions it.
Do you know Desiree Lathan?
I knew her, yes.
When did you last speak to her?
Oh, it's been ages.
Her mouth looks
She and
weird.
I
Now that I
haven't had
see it, I
much to
can't
do with each
unsee
other
it.
for a while.
It's like she's
Why
wearing
is
a
that?
mask,
It's really not important.
like a full
We
prosthetic.
just didn't see eye to eye on a few things.
Was she at the Grand Dame's ball?
Yes, she was. Drinking up a storm as usual. Desi really knew how to enjoy herself.
How much did she drink?
Oh, I don't know. She used to outmatch me, and I can handle quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like she's had dental work and she's got a whole bunch of gauze in her bottom lip.
Yeah, it's like that. Because I was thinking, I was going to say bee stings, but it's too uniform for like. It's not like a one area. It's the whole bottom. But yeah, it's not like still got gauze in from a dentist appointment. It actually does match.
What can you tell me about Desiree's death?
Just what I've read in the papers. She burned to death. It's horrible. She certainly didn't deserve to die in such a gruesome way.
Did she have any enemies? Anyone who might have wanted to do her harm?
No. Everyone loved her.
Except you?
Mr. Fordham, I said we haven't had much to do with each other. That doesn't mean I didn't care for her. Now please, let's drop the subject.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Why, Mr. Fordham, I hardly know you. Well, that said, I'm always open to making new friends.
Oh, she is a Blanche.
Ooh, watch out, Miles. I think she's getting ready to pounce.
Hello. Okay. Steve, you're the single man here. How are you going to woo this woman?
We want to woo her, or
Oh, she might open up if we woo her. We might be able to get some additional information.
I think hair is probably the safest one, or the nicest one.
Even though it's okay.
I must compliment you on your lovely hairstyle.
Oh, how sweet of you to say. Though it is getting a bit ragged.
I'll
I'm
say.
having it done this afternoon, in fact. My girl Adelaide is a treasure.
Oh.
Don't say. Well, she must be talented to improve on near perfection.
Oh, such a flattering tongue, Mr. Fordham.
Wow, okay. So our wife is cutting her hair later in the day. What do you think? Smile? You like her gauze smile, right? Let's do it.
Can I just say you've got the most radiant smile I've ever seen?
Oh, why, that's very sweet of you, Mr. Fordham.
It's true. Not many women your age still have all their teeth intact.
I beg your pardon.
I didn't know you were such a master of the high kick, Miles. You got your foot in your mouth in record time.
I just meant... You know what? Never mind.
Ooh. Let's yeah, let's do the other one.
You've really got a great sense of fashion and style. All the other Grand Dames must be jealous.
Oh, you.
Thanks for your time. I'll let you
Okay.
get back to your drink.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Do you come with the car? Oh, you. All right. All right. Hopefully, old mate's gone. Nope, he's still here.
Damn, looks like Parsons didn't take the bait.
Oh shit.
He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
All right.
Okay, I fucked up.
No, all good. We can just there's 3 cases, right? So let's go to the cop shop.
Got a moment, Upton?
Can I go?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Unfortunately, Parsons didn't take the bait.
Nothing worse than a picky investigator. I wish more people were like you.
Thank you?
All right, these are the, as of yet, unassigned crimes.
Okay.
A woman in Chumley reported hearing a single gunshot in her neighbor's apartment last night. There was a deadly explosion at a factory in Worcester that may be linked to sabotage.
Let's do that
and
one.
That's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
I don't want the flower ones.
Give me the details about the factory explosion.
The owner of the Hawkins Steelworks reported an explosion at his factory that killed 2 of his workers. He says he's been getting several threatening letters about his current project.
And so he suspects someone has sabotaged the operation?
Yes, likely the Redites. Do you think Parsons will be interested?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
All right, let's hope for the best. Oh shit! It is the flower one.
Looks like Parsons didn't take the bait.
Damn.
He must not have considered that case enough to prove himself to Snelling.
Unless, what if he is the mysterious stranger, and he wants the flower one to take the heat off?
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Unfortunately, Parsons didn't take the bait.
Nothing worse than a picky investigator. All right, a woman inch, and that's it for right now. Any of those strike your fancy?
Any of those? How about the one?
Let's hear about the gunshot.
Ethel Williamson. She.
Intriguing.
Do you think Parsons?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Let's go with that one.
All right, I'll send out the report as soon as we're done talking.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Looks like Parsons took the bait. Now maybe we can finally have a look around the crime scene.
Tell us how you really feel about your partner.
Begging your pardon, officer.
Yes, what is it, sir?
Do you enjoy working with Officer Parsons?
If I'm being honest, he can be a bit much sometimes.
Trust me, you're not the only one who feels that way. I didn't have much interaction with him when I was a detective. But the few times I did weren't very pleasant.
I could tell he doesn't seem to care much for you. Although I don't think he cares much for anyone except the chief. And that's only because he's the one who gives out the promotions.
Is there anything you can tell me about Desiree Lathan?
I couldn't really say.
Come now, I'm trying to help this investigation. Any small detail would be useful.
Well, I haven't really looked over the crime scene too much. It's rather gruesome, you see.
Is the body still here?
Yes. What's left of it, at any rate.
Ooh, we get to see it?
Miss Lathan was only identified by the tattoo on her foot.
I see. What was Chief Snelling doing here?
He was inspecting the crime scene.
Yes, but why was he involved? Is there something special about it that would require the Chief of Police to look into it?
Well, someone thought it might be related to the big case we're not supposed to talk about.
You mean the mass murderer?
Yes, sir. I could see why the chief is upset that the news has gotten out.
And is it related?
No, I don't believe so. But the news reports are beginning the public on edge.
Of course. The less information there is, the easier it is for rumors to start spreading.
Exactly. Chief Snelling has a lot of fires to put out.
If that's the case, it's too bad he didn't get to Ms. Lathan in time.
Okay.
Has there been much progress here?
Snelling and Parsons examined the scene, that's all I know.
Do you think I might have a look, now that the initial investigation's been conducted?
I'm afraid that's out of the question, sir.
No!
I have my orders.
Officer Kane, I'm trying to aid this investigation. There may have been something overlooked by the others.
If Parsons were to catch you, my career would be over.
Trust me, he won't be back for some time. I swear on my honor as a former member of the New Britannia Police.
All right. I suppose you can go in
Yes!
for a moment, but please be quick about it.
Thank you, Officer Kane. I promise this will stay between us.
I just love rookie officers. They're so gullible. I once got one to shine my shoes for a week after convincing him it was department policy. Good times.
Thanks for your time, officer.
Not a problem.
Oh, wow.
That's certainly a pungent aroma. I can see why the officer stuck to the living room.
Surprisingly modest quarters for a grande dame. You'd never guess she could buy out the likes of you and me 1,000 times over.
It's pretty good detail that they've got the ash on the roof as well.
Mm.
We could save our progress at the typewriter.
It looks as though Miss Lathan was in the middle of writing something.
It's an
No,
article
we
for
don't.
Brentwell magazine.
Igniting the Fires Within by
Lighting
Desiree.
Fires Within. A bit on the nose, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Classic Brentwell. They have a reputation for making their writers go to extremes for their articles, all for the sake of entertainment.
Perhaps we should pay their officers a visit, see exactly what it was Miss Lathan was doing for them.
We are all familiar with the idea of inner fire, a term usually applied with our sense of passion or determination. But what if the inner fire was more of a physical nature? That is to say, if each of us had the capability to light a real fire within our bodies.
Some crumpled up letters. They look to be of the romantic variety.
They're from the same person, one Peter Andrews.
It's always sad to see a case of unrequited love. I'm thinking we should find out who this Peter Andrews is.
Good idea. Now, are you finally willing to admit that looking through rubbish does yield results sometimes?
Fine, you win. But I don't think I envy your prize.
Okay. Dearest Desiree, I offer you my heart though I am sadly unable to offer you my hand. Oh, that circumstances were different. Why must life and love both be so cruel? I must continue to love and admire you from afar. I can only hope these feelings are mutual. Love, Peter. My dearest Desiree... What's up?
What kind of maniac writes to the edge of the paper?
Yeah, exactly. Where are your margins? Once again, I must declare my love for you. Though I have not yet responded to any... You have not yet responded to any of my letters. I maintain hope that you are for me. You care for me. I do for you. I remain ever faithful. Call upon me, and I will be at your side. I will embrace as Mr. and Mrs. Andrews at long last.
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lathan. Too bad it was damaged by the fire. The area where the artist's signature should be has been singed and is unreadable. Too bad.
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Okay. What kind of hairstyle is that? It's like made of ropes and snakes.
Looks like this one barely managed to survive. Pity. It looked like a nice work of art. As much as I like this painting, this isn't the time for art appreciation. Doesn't look as though this fireplace has been used in a long time. I suppose we can rule it out as the source.
There's a letter in here.
Dear Miss Lathan, this letter is to inform you that we have received...
Interesting. The law firm of Usher and Price isn't too far from here. I think it's definitely worth paying him a little visit.
We have received your request to make changes to your beneficiary as indicated in your last will and testament. Please come by the law offices of Usher and Price at this address so we may review your documents and make necessary edits. I wonder if she's like put Peter as her beneficiary.
Nothing else of interest in there. Odd. Another pile of ashes under the bed. Looks as though whatever she kept underneath got burned too. Or it could be that whatever was under the bed is what caught fire in the first place. Although, there's no evidence of what started it. All that's left is a small piece of cloth. Might as well take it.
What if it was a space heater?
The cloth appears to have some oily residue on it. Interesting.
Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more than we already know.
Oh my
ashes
gosh.
to ashes and all that. I'm glad I was buried. Cremation always seemed a bit too hot to handle.
Now's not the time for jokes, Bill.
Are you serious? Death is the best time for jokes. Otherwise, it's all just a bunch of boo-hoo-hoo this and wah-wah-wah that. And trust me, there's plenty of that in life. Hell, you'd know better than anyone.
All right. Just shut it for a bit while I look over the crime scene, would you? I need to concentrate.
Reminds me of the grey lady from Ghostbusters, the face.
Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of
Yeah,
infinite
bit.
riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now? Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering.
It's like
I
very
don't think Desiree will be
specific.
able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny.
It's very specific because a general fire, you'd have this gradual thing going from charcoal to normal, whereas this, it's almost like a magical fire, or fire out of like a movie or cartoon or something, because it's like very, very specific region of heat and nothing else is affected outside that.
Hmm.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest of the leg is burned off. There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, "Dancing through life." Hate to break it to her, but that dance is over. Alas, come to think of it. Ugh, greasy, fetid, stinking ashes. Who knew the human body was capable of producing such a disgusting byproduct?
I'm surprised the coroner hasn't taken the body away yet.
Probably because there isn't much of a body left to take. Either that or Dr. Edwards knows better than to deal with something like this.
That's extremely unlike him. He'd jump at the chance to examine this body. Perhaps we should allow him the pleasure.
I hope you're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting.
We're gonna take some ashes?
Miles, do you really want to go carrying around those stinking ashes in your pocket? It'll take ages to get the smell out.
Good point. I'll need to find something to carry them in.
Okay. We don't have an inventory in this game, so I guess we just have to have whatever it might be. The bin?
Nothing else of interest in there.
Okay.
Was there someone else in the room just now? I thought I heard you talking.
Oh, no. It's just sometimes I think aloud when investigating crime scenes.
I see.
Good save.
Yeah,
We don't
you've
need
heard
any
of-
more police officers thinking you're insane.
You haven't heard of the rubber duck thing?
The what?
The rubber duck thing.
What
Have
rubber?
you not heard of that?
No, what are you talking about?
There might be different versions of it, but the version I heard, or I've heard most of, is a rubber duck. But it's basically you have, like, I think one of the stories told was like in a whole office they have this one rubber duck for the whole office. But the idea is like if you've got a problem, like a technical problem, you go and explain it to the rubber duck first before you bother anyone.
Oh.
Because explaining the problem, because so many times you'll start explaining the problem and start thinking of solutions you weren't thinking of before. So instead of bothering someone only to go, wait, I think I know what it is, you go and explain it to the rubber duck first.
Yeah, I see. I've never heard of that term before, but that totally makes sense for sure. Like, there's often even the aspect of like, I need to remember something. So, like, I might go to Lisa and say, hey, can you remind me tomorrow that I need to do this and this? And it's not to actually remind her. It just triggers in my brain and I'll remember.
Definitely too young to be Miss Latham.
Oops. Can we put the ashes in a hat? Oh, hang on. We can check the book now.
No title. I doubt it's a diary. People rarely leave those things laying out in the open.
Probably need a cup somewhere. I think 2 places opened up, though. Yeah, we've got... tongs. Oh, that's a big desk for a little man.
Ah, hello there. Are you here to drop off an article?
No, actually, I'm a private investigator. The name's Miles
Yeah, it's
Fordham.
like it's at a
How
kid's table.
exciting. You must have so many interesting stories.
You could say that, yes.
Please, come in, come in. I'm Alan
For a kid at an
Brentwell,
adult's
owner
table.
and publisher of Brentwell magazine.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
This has that problem again, Steve, with the room being kind of weird.
Yeah. It's not as bad as the one in the file store, but yeah, things don't line up properly.
Useful for getting to those hard-to-reach places. In my case, that's everywhere. Confessions of a Steam Addict by Ezra Bartley. I think I'm better off not knowing. For Whom the Bell Almost Tolled by Suki Snobs. Fascinating stuff. For the publisher of a sensationalist rag, Brentwell is awfully well read. Assuming he actually has read all those books, of course. Empty. Too bad. Brentwell has a front row seat to all the horrible things he might want to write about in his magazine.
It kind of reminds me of Batman Returns when Christopher Walken, spoiler for Batman Returns, pushes Selena Kyle out the window.
Yeah, I sort of vague memories of it.
Empty. Too bad. I can only begin to imagine how many lurid and salacious articles are kept in those cabinets. I can only begin to imagine how...
I wonder if I should watch that movie again.
Oh, yeah.
I can only begin to imagine...
And I think there's a reason I haven't watched it. But rewatch it.
I
But
have some questions for you, Mr. Brentwell.
the
Wonderful!
video I was watching where they
So
go, well, they're
seldom I
talking
get
about
to
Paul
answer
Rubens, and they go,
questions.
oh, he was also in Batman Returns. It's like, oh shit, that's like the Penguin's dad.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
And yeah, it's like, oh shit, I didn't remember. I either didn't remember or probably didn't recognize him.
You know what it is? I think it's these little highlights here and here. Like, because there's shadow. I mean, I'm no artist. Maybe Tongs can chime in. But because there's shadow on this side of the face, I feel like the bit near the lip should be dark too. And then it may not pronounce the lip like they got gauze in there or something. I don't know.
Or if they
What
made
can you
it
tell
too
me about
dark and it
Desiree
makes, so it makes it look like it's pinched in too much.
Oh, why, she came to me a few weeks ago in response to an ad I took out requesting articles. She told me she had an idea readers would love. We agreed on 3 crowns per paragraph, and she was on her way. Come to think of it, I haven't heard from her in a few days.
She dead.
Were you aware that Miss Lathan is dead?
What? No, I had no idea. What happened?
I'm not exactly sure. She seems to have burned to death under mysterious circumstances.
Mysterious circumstances?
Most of her body was burnt to ash, but there's very little fire damage around her. It's as though she herself just caught fire.
Oh, that sounds
Fire.
positively ghastly. Oh dear.
Is something wrong?
I just remembered. The article she was writing, dear God. I hope she didn't go too far with her research.
Tell me about Brentwell Magazine.
We're a monthly publication focusing on both fiction and non-fiction pieces. My dream was to have a magazine that was well-respected and educational. But sadly, it seems today's audiences are much more interested in reading about sightings of giant bat creatures or mysterious buried treasures. Such a pity.
I hear you have a bit of a reputation for making your
more
reporters
about
do
these mysterious
questionable
buried
things
treasures.
for their articles.
You are mistaken, Mr. Fordham. I don't force my writers to do anything. They seem to have this notion that the more extreme their research, the more authentic the articles will be.
What sort of extremes are we talking about here?
We had one writer who attempted to heighten the sensation of fear she wanted to express in her story. Damn near decapitated herself by sticking her head through an opening at the clock tower at St. Denis Cathedral. Ugh. Thankfully, she made it out alive. It would have been quite the predicament if she hadn't.
I'm sure he means decapitators in the
Considering that was our most
one of the
popular
hands
article last
almost
year.
went through.
Oh, people have such odd taste.
There's a really good assassination in Hitman in the New York level with a clock.
What exactly was Desiree's article about?
I'm not entirely sure. She merely came to me with the proposal.
She didn't tell you what that idea was?
She did, but I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Please, Mr. Brentwell, stop stalling and tell me what she was writing about.
It was about spontaneous human combustion.
Yeah, we already knew that. We read it in the typewriter.
What do you know about spontaneous human combustion?
That's the thing. I don't know very much at all. It sounded interesting enough. That's why I accepted Miss Lathan's proposal to write the article about it.
But what do you know about it?
Only that it's a mysterious phenomenon in which a person catches fire spontaneously and burns to death. It sounds exactly as you described Miss Lathan's condition.
Do you know what Miss Lathan's research on the subject involved?
Only the one contact I gave her, a Miss Angela Maxwell at the Spectre Society in Gascon.
We know her. You know what, Artie Fine? That is a very common sentence that I think we all say. We need to get back to Hitman. Such a great game.
The Spectre Society, huh?
I left
Shouldn't
off
be surprised to hear that
just
name again.
before starting
Are you a member?
Berlin.
Actually, I am.
Then I suggest you do some research there. There's bound to be something relevant in that curious library of theirs.
Thank you. Perhaps I will. What made you decide to start this business?
I always wanted to be a journalist. I never had much luck with any of the local papers, though. So I decided to start my own. I admit it's not exactly what I wanted, but I like to think Brentwell magazine has found its own unique voice.
Voice? More like a gurgling scream.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Brentwell.
The pleasure is all mine.
All right. Well, I reckon we should probably call it there. We hit 2 hours, got some progress. We absolutely annihilated that case, and now we're on to something a little bit more supernatural. Flamin' Galar. There we go. Save that. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining as usual. Make sure you do something for yourself today. Something, get some delicious coffee in you or something like that. We'll send you across to somebody. We'll do a quick raid. Let's see who is on. You know what? We haven't sent you here in a while, so let's send you across to our good friend Daniel Wayne, locking you guys in the raid cannon, ready to fire you off. All right. Well, until next time, I'm just trying to think of what streams are coming up. I do want to. We had to postpone last night's Dubbolt Exposure, the Life is Strange stream, because I was feeling under the weather. But I do want to catch up on that. Don't want to leave it too long between episodes. So I'll try and find some time over the weekend to maybe catch up there. I believe that Verd and I will be doing our what's it called? Zero Time Dilemma stream probably tomorrow night, if things go according to plan as well.
And that's the third in the nonary series, right?
Exactly. Yep. That's it.
Yep.
But yeah, stay safe, Artie. Fine. Hopefully, you don't get too much weather, enough to cost you, Yeah. All right. So we'll send you off. Until next time. Toodaloo.
See everyone. Oh.